am the host for the evening, Ryan Campbell. You are watching Soup to Nuts. As you can tell, here's a nut. Found one, Judge. Hey. So today I'm working on the Murano, as you can see behind me over my shoulder, and I got a check engine light on, so I'm going to show you. I already know what it is, I already went through it, but I'm going to show you on camera what I found, and then tell you what I'm going to do, and we'll get rolling with that. That's coming up very shortly.
You are tuned in to Ryan Campbell, Soup to Nuts.
Alright, before we really get going here, don't forget to subscribe down here. That's my finger close up. Don't forget to subscribe down here, give me a like, comment, all that good crap. And follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, LinkedIn, and Snapchat. Everything is Soup to Nuts, but it'll be in the description. So don't forget to do that right here, right now. You can see why I'm doing YouTube. Singing's not my career. Alright, so see if I can get you in here. You can see the check engine light on. You can see it's already running. You can see the RPMs on 0. I already started it. You can see a check engine light. Surface engine soon. Check engine light, same thing. And so what I got here, I got this guy that I use a lot, BlueDriver. It's a Bluetooth scan tool, obdii scan tool. So basically this is the device you get, and then you download an app on your phone, and I'm going to plug this into the port right now. Alright, so I got the app pulled up on my phone, I got the device plugged into the obdii port in the car, and we're going to hit read codes. Not connected to a vehicle, I don't know why. Connecting, now we're connecting. Alright. You can see the camera, the reflection of the phone. Let's connect. Alright. And check engine light is on. And yada yada yada, distance with check engine light on, 55 miles. I've been waiting, actually, it's, I'll tell you, I've been waiting a couple weeks. It's middle of the winter here, but I finally got a mild day because I got to work outside the car. I've known about it for a couple weeks, but I was trying to avoid working in 20-degree weather. So I got a mild day here to work with, so that's what I'm doing. Alright, so go to menu. It's kind of hard watching, doing this through the camera. Alright, read codes, top left. Scan vehicle. Codes. Alright, you can do different types of lights. It does have a couple other dash lights on, but I already know what that is. That's the my clock spring and my steering wheel is bad. So I have to replace that. That's an upcoming video. But we'll do just check engine light. It'll scan. It's scanning the computer right now in the car. Doing its thing. It's doing its dang. And one code found. What the hell does it say? Whatever. Alright. One confirmed trouble code. You can see here is O2 sensor, high voltage, bank 1, sensor 2. Clear, confirm, this, that, and the other. PO P0138. So bank 1 is the rear, the way the engine's configured is the on this car it's the VQ35DE, the Nissan Murano. Bank 1 of this car is the rear cylinders, the cylinders that are closest to the firewall. And sensor 2, there's four O2 sensors in this car. 2 are basically on the header or the exhaust manifold, coming off of the engine block. And then 2 are a little bit further down, like, you know, more underneath the vehicle. And sensor 1 is the ones that are up higher on the exhaust manifold, and sensor 2 is the ones that's underneath the car, you know, pretty close to the bottom of the car. So hopefully it might be actually a little bit easier underneath, but next step you'll see, I'll show you underneath and show you what I gotta do underneath. Alright, so for those of you who don't know, this is an O2 sensor, oxygen sensor it's also known as. It basically measures the air-fuel ratio in your exhaust. So that way it sends a signal back to the computer, so that way the computer will adjust how much fuel to air ratio is being put into the engine. I know you still might not understand, but this is it is a very, very common failure, and it also is a very important part of having modern engines run pretty well, or run at all, or run good, whatever you want to say. So that's I got two of them. They're identical, and I'll show you underneath what we're looking at. All right, so right there where I'm pointing, the little, we already saw what it looks like. That's installed. This is the front one near the radiator, so this isn't the one that's throwing the code, but I'm going to replace it anyway. Might as well do both, because if one's bad, it's probably not going to be too much longer before the other one goes bad too. So while I'm on here, might as well take care of it. So that's one. That's the front one, and then the rear one. I'm going to readjust myself here. The rear one up there, you can see it up there. That's the one that's throwing the code. So that's the trouble guy right there. There's clip. This is for the rear. This is for the rear of the clip where the plug clips in, and then there's one up there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a clip up there for the front. So I already sprayed it with PB Blaster. I'll show you in a second. I already sprayed both of them because they tend to freeze a lot. I already sprayed them with this stuff, a PB Blaster, penetrating catalyst. So it's still not 100% cool because I had the engine running. Obviously, you saw earlier, not too much earlier, but you already watched that part of the video, I hope. But had it running, so I'm waiting for it to cool down the rest of the way so we can actually grab and work on stuff. That way, if I touch it, I won't get burned. Mommy, feed me. Feed me. So let it cool down a little bit more. I'm going to spray it again with the PB Blaster because those threads it's because of how hot the pipe gets. So the heat cycles, it tends to get frozen there. They're usually pretty hard to get out. Usually a pain in the good old pain in the. So I'm going to spray it again, and then I'll get in there. If I have trouble, I'll set the camera up. But if not, if they actually do kind of break free, I'm probably not going to camera because it's just I'm threading two pieces and threading two new pieces in, and just unclipping the wires. That's it. But if I run into problems, I'll get the camera back out. If not, the next you'll see me, I'll show you the new ones installed. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll show you new ones installed, and then do a little wrap. We'll check to see if the engine light goes off as well. So, but yeah, I'm hopeful. Hopeful guy right here. Optimistic. Some say the glass is half full, some say the glass is half empty. I say let's get a smaller glass so that way I'll have a full glass. Makes sense to me, I don't know. Alright. Alright, so I got the rear O2 sensor replaced, the one that was throwing the code. The front one is frozen on there. It's frozen. I already broke two extensions. The way it's situated, I kind of have to use extensions, so I'm gonna have to get hardened steel extensions. I already broke two. I mean, I have there's warranty on them, so we're good. But still, so I'm gonna have to do that at a later time because I'm just gonna keep breaking. So I also took off a couple of heat shields that are loose and starting to rattle a little bit, so I got that off. So I'll show you underneath, and then I haven't started the car yet, and we'll find out if it takes care of the situation. So this one was a real pain to get off. This is around the rear cat coming off of the header, the manifold, and it's in there really tight. And basically, you can see I kind of excuse me, I manhandled the hell out of it. Get the hell off. And here's heat shield number 2. This one came off really easily. So got that off. And let's go underneath. Oh, here's the old sensor, the one that came out. That was throwing the code. I don't know how well it's showing on camera, if it's gonna focus for me or not. Come on, focus. Not focusing. What? It'll focus now. There we go. There we go. So that's the old guy that came out. This guy right here. That wouldn't come off. I sprayed it with PB Blaster like 10 times. I have to break out the torch, get new tools. I already broke two. I'll show you the broken tools too, but you see this one's the new one I replaced here. I'll zoom it out a little bit for you. Woo 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 woo. And then the heat shield was kind of back up there, where you see kind of where the metal changes color. It's like rusty, and then it goes up. It was around that upper part. So you can see it's in there. It's in there really tight. There's not room there. The other heat shield was like right here, like kind of where I'm moving my hand on the front of this pipe. You can see these bolts are rusted over. So here, the heat shield was like right where my hand is. So that came off easily. There's a lot of room to work with, but got everything. Got the new sensor plugged in here. Got all going in there tight. So we'll find out what happens. Oh, here's broken extension number 1. That's the piece that broke off. You see, broke, sheared it off. You see, this is extension number 2. Broke, sheared off. You can see kind of a lot of extensions that have little ball keepers. You kind of see the inside, what it looks like. Has a little spring and a ball, so the spring pushes the ball out. So that way, you know, it holds the socket on. But they're Craftsman, so I'll just get new ones. Alright, let's see what happens. You know what, let me see. If I can reset the code with the phone. Might need to be reset. Alright, I still have the thing plugged in. I'm going to hit clear codes. I know it got the glare, but this is clear codes. Got the glare and focus problem, but yeah, I gotta hit this. And let's do all codes. Clearing 0%. You can kind of see on the left underneath the bottom of the tachometer. You'll see if that light goes out, if it'll function. And just keep your eye where my middle finger there is pointing. Finalizing it. I hate when things do this. Like, dude, just give me one process. What kind of crap is that? Finalizing. Oh, the light went out though. See, light went out. I missed this moment. The light went out because I was getting a little revved up. I was getting a little irritated. I don't like when things do that. It's just computers drive me nuts. But there, lights out. Hopefully it stays out. But obviously it also took out the other light error. I don't know what it was. Actually, no, the other lights. I think it was a TPMS sensor, the tire pressure sensor. But no codes. But yet the airbag light is still blinking because the clock spring is basically behind your steering wheel, because you know you need to have, like, you know, there's wire for the horn, for the buttons, for the airbag and all that. But obviously you need your wheel to spin. But if you have wires coming through, the wires will just get all twisted. So basically it's kind of like a twisting thing that keeps contact between the wheel and the column. So that way, you know, the wires don't get twisted, but it keeps the actual contact. So, but I do have to replace that because, look, it's bad. Because, see, it's not even lit up right now. These are supposed to light up. They normally light up. They've been blinking on and off on me. I turned the lights on in the car, but these aren't on. So, and the airbag light is blinking, And also my radio control, the volume doesn't work. It works, I can turn the volume down but not up. So I'm gonna have to replace that soon. But we might be in business. We might be in business. And with that, we have another successful mission. Or at least partially successful. I know I really wanted to replace the other O2 sensor, but it wasn't throwing a code and it was being a pain. But at least I know when I go back to it later on, what I be prepared for. I have to get a couple of tools, you replace those ones that are broken, and be ready. I might have to torch it and just do all sorts of crap to try to get that damn thing out. Hopefully I'll be successful. You know what? At this point, honestly, I might just keep going, right, and wait till it throws a code. Wait till it actually goes bad. Maybe, fingers crossed, throughout the life of me owning this car, because I'm not going to own it forever, probably going to sell, I don't know, a couple years or something, but maybe I'll be lucky I'll never have to deal with it. Who knows? Maybe. But, so yeah, so next coming up, we're going back to 350Z action. Getting some crap done with that. Should hopefully have the trans coming soon, so I can start getting the engine back into the car, and should be buttoning up a few things in the engine shortly as well. And I also have to order the rear bumper that I want. So I got some things cranking. I got some cranking things. Cranking things. But in the meantime, don't forget to like it. No, you don't like down here, but I think the like's like down in this general direction, or it might be in the middle. I don't know. But subscribe down here. Give me a like. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment. Give me 5 comments. That would be awesome. I'll have a little discussion, y'all. A discussion with you. Hey, and follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Tumblr, Snapchat. Everything is soup to nuts. It's all down in the description. I love you all. I love you very much. Hey, yeah. Drive fast. Take chances.